¿Qué tal mis amigos? Brocardo here, and I'm doing a Draw My Life. So my voyage started in Canada on February 16, 1989. What? Canada? Ricardo, I thought you were Spanish. I am a split background child. My dad's family is from Peru, and my mom's family is from Canada. When I was 3 years old, my parents decided to move to Venezuela because it was a very peaceful country and you did not have to pay any taxes. That is how I have the influence of having a Spanish accent, even though my first language was English. My little sister was born 2 years after. Her name is Shanna. So she kinda arrived at the right moment because when I turned 5, my parents got divorced and it did not affect her as much as it did for me. I really like being with my mom, so I decided to stay with her. A few years later, my mom married a Cuban guy who was both into boxing and music. And yeah, that was the point in my life when I got involved into music, boxing, and having Super Saiyan powers. When I started going to school, I was bullied by the students around. And the main reason for me being bullied was because I had a Canadian accent and I was a very shy kid. One day in 5th grade, one of my friends, well, my only friend, Danielle, we were playing at boxing fighting. And I got carried over and punched him out of earth. I felt really bad because I forgot we were just playing games. Well, the good thing since that day, I was never picked on by any of my classmates and I was considered more like their bodyguard. Things started to change when I went to mid school, where I met 3 of my best friends, Ricardo, same name as me, Ronnie, and Guillermo, which later we started the band together. We worked really hard on our music compositions and took us a good couple of years before we started getting successful. Our music was played on national radio stations, we were getting interviews, and we were invited to play for big events. Now you'll be wondering, how did I get myself involved into gaming? My friends and I loved playing video games. We would go to LANs every Friday and spend a whole entire night till next morning playing video games. The first ever game I played was competitive Counter-Strike, which I did earn a place in the competitive scene as one of the pioneers and also within the top players for my region. I was captain for several teams and won several offline tournaments. Big shot. Although I had lots of fun, I dated girls, played games, and yes, I was very good in school. Everything was just going the way I wanted. But when I turned 16, my mom passed away. I loved my mom so much, and all I wanted to do in life was to be able to buy a house for her. Those days were the worst moments. I had no aim, I couldn't eat, I couldn't sleep, I couldn't drink, I couldn't do anything. All I could think of was, if it wasn't for my mom, if it wasn't for her struggling to upbring my sister and I wouldn't be who I am today. And to be honest, I was looking for ways to opt out, if you know what I mean. Slowly, I started to realize that my mom left behind something wonderful. That was my little sister. She was very small and I had to take care of her. We went back to our dad's house after my mom passed away and stayed there for 1 year. But he will not treat us well, and it's like he ever did any different in his entire life. So I decided to move back to Canada with my sister, leaving behind everything I worked so hard for my future. Since then, I have been working really hard. I've dropped high school and college in order to pay rent and bills. I started to get myself into a lot of debt since I had no money saved up before coming back to Canada. At that time, I met Viviana, my fiancée at the moment, who loved me and supported me every moment, and she still does. She is a big influence in my life now. I was having tough times in my life, and that was the time when I thought of getting my skills into the internet, my music, my online marketing, and everything that I do now that I enjoy doing in my free time. So I worked my ass off, hoping that one day, everything that I was investing my time on will pay off. This was not knowing whether it was going to be even possible or not. Until one day, 2 years after, my online business was just paying as much as my full-time job. That is when I decided to quit my job to put more of my time into it. As they say, time never remains the same. So was the case with me and my business. It went down for the past 2 years, all because I was being really careless. I started doing YouTube videos on a different account on how to make money over the internet. Even though I helped a lot of people, it did not make me happy. That project did not last very long. Until one day, I met these awesome people who I became really good friends with. You all know them. They go by the names of Lane, Ryan, and David. If it wasn't for them, I would never known that I could make videos out of what I like to do the most, gaming. I love doing YouTube, and it gives me a great joy when I make other people happy. Although it doesn't pay any bills at all, I believe sharing that feel of happiness makes a huge difference, and there's no great amount of money in the world that can replace it. My only aim now is to keep growing as a person and be able for one day make a huge difference in life. Keep fighting to survive, grow my own family, and provide them with the life that I never had. So guys, appreciate it, you're awesome. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. The only reason right now why I keep trying with YouTube because I like being with you. Once again, it's not about the money, it's about you. It's about feeling that little spark in my heart, what tickles my pickle to keep doing what I like to do the most. Once again guys, if it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be here. You're awesome, I love you, and I hope you enjoyed just a little bit of myself. Till next time, take care.